Good morning, bro.
Good morning.
Sorry about that. Been a little crazy morning this morning,
It's all good.
but we are good to go. We can get started. That way you can get to your day. Everything's right. Okay, so everybody at work. So if people do come in, that's fine. Let's go ahead and get started because I am interested in hearing the stories.
All right.
Now let's get right into it. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you for taking the time of your day to come onto the podcast. I want
Yeah,
to
of
say
course.
thank you for being a part of the community. And I want to just thank you for supporting what we're doing and the movement that we're trying to make through this podcast. I want to thank you again for your time. And then I'll let you introduce yourself and we can get started.
Well, my name's Richard Clark. I've been in the car scene for about 12 years now. I used to do a lot of tailgate racing back in the day with big Mustang groups. I'm pretty much an aircraft maintainer, like assembler during the day and the week, and then I work on my car during the weekend. So it's kind of like a 50-50 thing for me right now. Uh, but yeah, it's just really interesting seeing everything change as it is right now.
So take let's go back. Tell us how you first got into cars.
Man, I first got into cars back when I was like 4 or 5 years old. My dad had a old New Edge Mustang. It was like a '99. He used to take me to school all the time in it, and that just kind of sparked the whole thing for me with cars. Is that it really got me into Mustangs. It got me into like Ford vehicles, and ever since then, I always just liked Ford. I would always see like Chevys and stuff like that, or Lamborghinis. Just driving around, but it just never really, like, sparked anything for me until I saw, like, a Mustang or something. I'm like, "Yeah, I like that." And so, that's what really got me into it, and I'm on my 4th Mustang right now. I've had a couple '90s Mustangs. I've had a '03 Premium, which was my first GT, and I fully built that car, and then after that one blew up, I got my 2010.
I say a lot of people love Mustangs. A lot. Like, uh, favorite car wise, I say a lot of people on the podcast have said growing up, a Mustang was their favorite car.
Mhm.
So I love I love how they sound. I'm just scared to drive one.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm
I
just
mean,
I'm
it all depends on, like, how you drive them. I mean, of course, you got these kids out here these days that don't know how to handle cars that have higher horsepower than a Honda. So you always see them crashing out and doing stupid shit, but things happen. It's like, maybe your parents should give you, like, a little beater car to begin with before you got into something that has a higher horsepower, a higher, maintenance-wise. But, to each of their own, they'll get what they want. So it's like, for me, my first starter was a '99 F-250. That was my daily going to school. And, I didn't like
okay.
it, but it got me to school, and then I finally got into Mustangs when I was able to buy my own car after I worked for a while. And then from there, I just bought buying Mustangs.
My brother had a Mustang. I want to say he had. I want to say it was like the '08. Oh, could have been oh. I want to say either it was an '05 or '08. I get the two confused all the time, but I know he had a Mustang. It was yellow,
Yeah,
and
so
his favorite car was Mustangs.
that's the first gen S197s that came out.
But I forgot what he did to it. I think he wrecked it. No, no, no.
Because
Actually, I forgot what happened to that Mustang. Like he had it at one point, bro, and then after that, it was just gone. So you said you did tailgate racing. Am I
no,
correct?
like, Toge racing.
Okay. Tell us about that.
So, but like, almost like what most of the time you see on videos for Toge is like people going through like windy turns, at high speeds with big groups of people. Sometimes it has drifting in it if they want to drift. Sometimes it's just really endurance. Um, I was doing that back when I first got my '03 Mustang. I actually joined a Mustang group, and from there, I found out every Sunday, or not really every Sunday, but like every third Sunday of the month, we'd always do a brunch. but that brunch also equaled us into going toge racing to get to brunch. So it's a whole course, and we go all up North Florida, even as like Brooksville and stuff from like Tampa area. So we'd be out there for like 2 hours just racing through back roads of windy turns and straightaways, things like that. And so it was great. The adrenaline rush was awesome. I would always of course blast music, and I would just be racing, following people. There've been a couple close calls here and there, but besides that, we never really had anyone like wreck or crash or anything like that. So that was a good part.
That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, it was always just a
Hmm.
overall fun time. But then over the years, the leader of the group, he just kind of started straying away from it. And then soon enough, we don't even see any more like events or anything happening. So it's kind of difficult to find other groups that actually want to do that at like 6 o'clock in the morning. But
For
besides
sure.
that, it was good for what it was. It was a good long run for a while, and it sucks to see it leave. But at some point, I would like to try to get back into it, or even start my own group. If I can figure out the routes again.
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say you could definitely use this to start your own group to go back to doing that.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you actually should. It sounds like a really good time though, so that'd be something, it'll bring back the memories, the fun times you used to have. So I would definitely recommend starting your own group.
But yeah, for sure. I'd have to. I can probably still contact him and get the routes and stuff that he made. That way, I can actually follow them again.
We have something like that here in Daytona.
Hmm.
Um, it's called the Loop. It's like it's kind of like a windy road, and it's set like I know, like on one side is a lake,
Hmm.
but the lake's so close to the road, and then the road small, so like you have to be careful on that road. But it's kind of the same thing. It's like windy, and it's like kind of like ducked off like the middle of nowhere. So we have kind of the same thing. It's probably not as big as your loop is, but
Hmm.
we do have something similar like that in Daytona.
Nice.
So it is nice, but I haven't been to it
Hmm.
in years, bro. Like I haven't been to it in years. When I get my car fixed though, I'm definitely going back to it. And then also like the scenery though. The scenery
Yeah.
is like palm trees and bro, it's just real
Nice.
nice.
Yeah, we'd have like a canopy top
So
kind of roads. So like you could drive through and it's just all
yeah,
trees that just cover the over. It's almost like going through a tunnel. It was like really crazy looking, but it was really cool.
bro, I'm not too I love a road like that. I feel like for like a good like roller,
Hmm.
that'd be like a good road to get rollers on or even pictures.
For sure.
I love those kind of roads with the canopy top true thing.
Hmm.
Also, what I want to touch back on is going back to the early going back. You um said you and your dad have a father and son bill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's my 2010 currently right now, and was also the '03 Mustang that I had.
Okay. Tell us about the one you have now.
So with the 2010 Mustang,
Like what all did you do to it?
okay, yeah, it's a GT premium. So far, we've gotten the engine pretty much rebuilt, not fully, but it's where it's drivable. We got cams in it. We got new timing set, flash adjusters, everything like that. Anything that is crucial for it to run, that's what we did to it.
Mhm.
After that, we put shorty headers on it, full straight pipe exhaust, so it's just loud as shit. And
Mm,
we got that done on it. It's 93 tuned, so I have it, tuned on that. I'm looking at probably
okay.
doing a dyno tune soon on it. Um, besides that, the wheels, some appearance, stuff like that, like a little spoiler, new tail lights, new front lights. Pretty much just changing it out from what it was when I first got the car.
Okay. So now I'm curious. Was which bill meant the most to you? Or the most fun y'all had actually building? Which one?
Um, I would have to say the '03 Mustang for sure. With that one, we spent at least like over 5, 6 grand into the engine alone, just getting it fully rebuilt. That car, we always went through so much with it. It was like the transmission had to be changed out. The engine grenaded because the timing chain blew out. So that kind of got us to go to the junkyard. We found a old like a police interceptor, and it has a P71 block in it. So we're like, well, it's a two valve 4.6, so we're gonna take that. So we took that out, paid like $300 for it, sent it to the machine shop, had it all remachined. It was like Manley pistons, so like it was bored out 30 over. So we had bigger pistons in it, new timing set, new cams. It was comp cam stage threes, long tube headers. It was just the full build. And we put so much like dedication in that. It took us like 2 weeks to try to get everything exactly where we wanted it. So it was just overall blood, sweat, and tears pretty much at that point. And we were just putting so much work into it. And the sad part is that after we put so much dedication and money and time into it, it like lasted 2 weeks, and I hit a pothole, split the fuel line, and it just lit on fire.
Mm,
So I had to. That was on Clearwater, and I had to like literally bail out of the car. So I had to pull my harness, and I grabbed all my shit out of the back of the car, threw it out, and I just ran. I'm like, I'm just trying to get away from this car.
that's
And this off-duty firefighter saw what happened, and he already called 911. So he stayed with me for a bit until they showed up. And unfortunately, like they kind of destroyed the car in order to put the fire out. So they ripped the hood off, they ripped the
damn.
bumper off, everything. And I got the car back the next day, and the whole interior was melted. Like the dash was all peeled back. The glass was broken. The engine surprisingly was still good, so I took everything out of that
Really?
car, the engine and transmission. I just took out of the car. I junked the car, and then now I have an engine and transmission that I need to find a new car for. So,
Yeah, that that had to be a experience. Definitely a scary though experience.
but yeah, for sure. That was like
Yeah,
my
I
first
don't know.
car fire I was in.
I've been. I mean, quit thinking though. So it's good you came out all right, but I know for a fact in a moment, like I know your heart had to be pumping in that moment.
Oh yeah, I was feeling a definitely a mix of emotions. I was feeling the adrenaline, but then I was also feeling like the sadness set in because I just spent so much money and so much time into the car with my dad, and then it just lit up on fire.
Yeah, that and then the sad part about this to know there's nothing you can do about it. Like you gotta sit and just deal with it. But also to put all that effort and time into the car for it to go
Mhm.
that way also sucks. Like
Yeah.
it's like, I done did all like we did all of this. And this is how so I mean after that, like was that ever a concern getting back into cars again? Or no?
Not really. I mean, if anything, it was more of like a trial and error for me because it's like, in a way, I was looking at it in the car was like, just let me die. Like, just let the car die. Cause it's like, it died the first time. I did a pretty much a heart transplant, and it's like, no, just let it go. It wasn't meant to be. But, from there, not even that same weekend, I think I spent like maybe 3 days after that happened. And that's when I went out and got the 2010 that I have now.
I had I have a CLS 550. It's a '08.
Mm,
I've had that car twice. The first time I got it, um, the transmission bro just straight took a shit.
mhm,
Like a 3 minute drive turned to a 30-minute drive because it would go from first gear to seventh gear to seventh to fourth. Like it just slipped like it just slipped in and out of every gear. So it was trying to drive it to get somewhere to get it fixed, bro, was horrible. Like it took me like an hour just to get it to the dealership that I bought it from.
mhm,
And then basically they came back and it was like, well, after the tranny messed up, they couldn't get they put a new one in there. And apparently it kept doing the same thing afterwards. So they were just like, it had to be something electronic. So they just jumped the car.
yeah,
And then I told myself now when I'm ready to get back into cars, I'm buying that car again and I'm just restarting with that exact car. That's what I did. But right now I'm having a fuel issue where it'll crank but not turn over. So
mm,
I don't know what's the issue right now. I replaced my so with Mercedes. your fuel filter and your fuel sender unit is all in one, right? I replaced my fuel sender unit, and then I got a new fuel pump off of a newer Mercedes, same model. So I got the fuel pump off of '09 Mercedes CLS. The car turned, except for a good like 4 5 months. But once I got the new fuel sender unit, the car turned on, stayed on. So I'm thinking, okay, it's good now. Like I know for a fact the car works. But when I turned it off, then turned it back on, is when you heard it like rev up, then rev down. Well, it'll rev up, then fall off, then rev back up, then fall off.
Yeah.
Then it'll do it again, and then finally it turned itself off. And since then it only turned back on when I was when I would spray something into the air intakes. Then
Right.
it'll try to turn over, but then it still turn right back off. So that's currently where I'm at when I'm with my car. It's because I don't know. Well, I know now my gas tank empty. I guess I'm trying to start it so much. So and then human error. Um, I put a new crankshaft sensor on it, right?
Mhm.
And then I had to do something. I had to do something. Oh, I reconnected all the connectors that sit on the fuel sending unit,
Mhm.
and then I double checked. I double checked the fuel pump. This is why I say human error, right? I think I was moving too fast.
Mhm.
No, when I opened the fuel pump, I did kind of notice it wasn't gas in my car, but at the same time, I was moving too fast.
Yeah.
So like, I guess I didn't like see, like look at it, and be like, okay, well, there's no gas in the car. So I put it all back together, and then now I'm just going through with the motions. I try to turn it back on, it's not starting. So I'm just like, okay, at this point, I don't know what it could be. I get home, now I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hold on, because I'm like, if I'm correct, I seen no gas in my fuel tank. I said, so did I really try to start my car with no gas in my fuel tank? So I think at this point, I gotta just go back and put gas in it, and
Yeah.
then try to kick it over because it turned on before. It it'll turn on, right?
Mhm.
But like I said, I think human error. I think it just wasn't no gas in the car to keep it on.
Right.
So I think that was my fault.
Well,
But
yeah, I had something similar like that happen to me too. I, it's funny because I've had fuel pump issues in my car, and it's like I remember one time my fuel pump literally went out. It was the first time, so I didn't even use a fuel pump because I had a full tank of gas, and funny enough, I was actually parked out front of an AutoZone when it happened. So I'm like, well, I'm already here, so that's good. But now I got to change it out in the dark. So I'm gonna have to take the back seat out because the fuel pump and everything is under the back seat. So you gotta take that out. Take the back seat out, and then I'm sitting there in the dark with a flashlight, leaning over like this, trying to push a plate, to pull it out. And so I got the new one in there, and it started up and worked fine. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's what it was. But then not even the next week or so, all of a sudden it was happening again. I was like, what the hell? And it was like stuttering, and I pulled into a Circle K, and I'm like, okay, well, this is weird. It's acting weird because it said I had 20 miles, and I was already gonna go to the gas station, but it was like dying. I was like, what the hell? And so I get up to the Circle K, I'm looking at it, and then so I pop it open, thinking because I was like, oh, it won't start, it won't start. And I pop it open thinking it's the fuel pump. I look in the tank, there's no gas in it. I'm like, well, that's why. Oh, like, let me put some gas in it right quick, and then sure enough, I put a little bit of gas in there and it started right up. I'm like, yeah, that was it. I'm like, that was on me.
yeah, I think I think that's my issue now. I think I was trying to start the car with no gas in it because my uncle was like, "No, man." He was like, "It sounds like you're getting no compression." This was before I put the new fuel pump and steering unit in the car.
Mhm.
He said, "No, man. It sounds like you're getting no compression." And that was like trying to start it for like months. So I'm pretty sure the gas was just like going, going, and going. So then when I went to actually like look at it again and just like play with it, and I seen like I don't know what I was thinking about, bro. I seen it was no gas, but it didn't like register up here. It was just like, okay, well, everything connected, everything in the right spot. So let me try this turn over. Then when I got home, I was like, you know what, bro? I seen. So then I went back just to clarify, right?
Mhm.
And I took a video of my gas tank. And bro, I'll be damn if I was to send you the video, bro, it's literally no gas in that car for the pump
Jeez.
whatsoever. And I was just like, okay, so I think now another issue with why it's not turned on is really no gas in it.
Mhm.
But I am curious, and so let me just switch it. You've been in the car scene, you said, for 12 years, right? So you got to see everything almost of the car
Mhm.
scene.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me your opinion about today's car scene.
Uh, man, where to start? Um, it could be a lot better for sure. Um, I I see all these videos every day of these kids out here doing these street takeovers and going to spots and just ruining the spots, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't care. I don't give a shit," you know? And then but it's like, but you're ruining it for everyone else, you know? You wonder why
Mhm,
Florida is starting to get more, stricter, like, driving laws and, license plate cover laws and all this other stuff. It's just because of them, they're trying to cover their plates. They're trying to go out here, outrun the police, and think they're in GTA or Need for Speed or something like that. I can't even drive my car without some guy in a Honda pulling up and trying to race me. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to get home from work. Like, what do you want from me? Like, I'm not trying to race you. I'm literally driving in a 45 and you're trying to race me. I'm like, I don't know what you want. But it's like, it's just that mentality. It's like the newer generation of car drivers, like, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's really hard when they try to reinforce these habits of theirs and just the culture that they're in, where it's like they don't really respect each other. They don't respect anyone else. They just care about themselves, and they just kind of ruin the scene that way. It's like people are like, "Oh, well, the scene's dead." Well, it doesn't have to be dead. You just guys, you have to give more respect to it. Once you guys start doing more respect and actually respecting the spots and doing what you can do and instead of what you can't do, then that's when it'll get better. Like, you guys can't go out here and cause a bunch of mayhem and, chaos, and then they expect everyone to be okay with it. Like, it just doesn't work that way.
facts, big facts, bro. And no, keep going. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It's just like I can't even drive my car or post on Instagram or something like that without, you get like, just some random hater, he's just gonna sit there and shit on you. He's gonna shit on everyone because he thinks he drives a fast Infinity. It's like, dude, we know the VQs. We know the VQs are beaten. Like, don't talk a big game when you drive a clapped out 37 or a 38 or whatever you got. It's like, everyone knows Qzilla. Okay, I'll name drop. Qzilla. Like, he's supposed to be the fastest Q60 Infinity out here. Cool. But
Hmm.
not everyone has to act like him. Like, he's his own thing. Stop trying to act like him and just be yourself. That's all I have to say. Is like, when you build off your
Hmm.
personality off of someone else that you are inspired by, then you're not really being yourself. You're just being another follower. And what I see is like your car, anyone's car is a canvas, and you're the artist, you're the painter. So you paint it to be what you want it to be. You don't have to paint the same thing that everyone else in the row is painting, you know? It's like, so do something different. Don't be a copycat. Just do it differently. Do it the way that you want to do it. And if someone tries to give you shit for it, then screw them. That's your car. That's what you want to do. And that's what I want to say to like these newer kids is like, you know, forget forget these people that you follow. You're gonna see all these people that are out here clout chasing and things like that. And it's like, all right, well, that's cool for them, but do something to make a name of yourself. You know, like that. That's all that really needs to happen. It's like, have respect for yourself and the peers around you, and go from there. Just try to build a bigger and better community. It doesn't need to be all the same.
All right, bro. I definitely agree with that because also, like you said, with the newer generation of car enthusiasts, right? It's more so they base more so off social media.
Mhm,
So just in my opinion, from outside looking in, they base more off social media. So they follow trends, they follow what's popular. Or no, I wouldn't say popular. Well, takeovers sad to say has gotten popular for
mhm,
all the wrong reasons. So they follow that, if somebody with influences, like you just said, like if somebody with influence is being a certain way, you have people following that same projection of what they see their favorite influencer do, or car person, or how you want to call it. They see that and then they just run with it. They see it and they run with it. And it's like instead of being your own person, you're trying to be somebody else and something else. And now you just following everything he or she does.
mhm,
And it's like, you're right. They don't care. The only thing they care about is getting their videos, getting their clicks, getting their likes, getting their views. That's the only thing they really care about. Not everybody in the car scene is that way, but for that group that is out here like not caring about the car meets, not caring about the car scene, just not really caring about the car culture, period. Them are the ones that's, like you said, ruin it for everybody else. Now
mhm,
we all get painted in a bad picture because of that group. And it's just like you can't really say the car scene is the people in the car scene are all bad when it's just those few that are.
mhm,
Not everybody in the scene is like that. So that's also a reason why I even started this podcast was things just like that. Like if you have influence in the car scene, you need to be positive. Spread a positive message because if we do keep getting people with influence and they keep pushing out that wrong narrative of the car scene, we might not even have one. So the reason why I even started this podcast was to try to negate that, like show everybody and show this just to show the car scene period, the people in the car scene, like the real community, get their voices, let them tell their side of the story because we all don't agree with that at all. I feel like if like a guest said yesterday, she was just like, if we just spread more positivity and spread a better influence, because I thought the car scene would get back to what it used to be. And I'm hoping together, we can build a community that's big enough to start showing that influence of what the car scene really is. Like, I want to just say I got into it like 3 years ago ish.
mhm,
Like, I've been into cars for way longer than that, but I officially got into the car scene like 3 years ago.
right,
And one thing about me is I'm very observant. So sometimes I just sit back and I just walk around the car scene, right? And I just go to car meets. I talk to people here and there. Like I had my own group at one time. Still kind of do. I'm not giving up on it. Just got to get back into the motion of it. But and also the thing I want to speak on is when you go to car meets, there's a lot of judgment
oh, yeah,
amongst the car meet.
big time,
So it's just like, why come if the only thing you can do is just talk down on everybody else's car?
mhm,
And I still also don't get that because you should not want somebody's car to look just like yours, or you shouldn't want the next person's car to look just like yours, or oh well, if it's my car, oh I was this and that. Well, granted, it's not your car, and
exactly,
granted, his car or her car shouldn't look like your car. Like we gotta have some creativity within the car scene. That's what give it that balance. Like if we just all out here just doing copy and paste because you feel like it should be this way, or you would do it that way. So now you go talk down on it. And the car scene has no creativity. And that was all just duplicates.
mhm.
So if there's one thing within the car scene you can change that's not takeovers, what would it be?
Just pretty much like almost what you said, like overall respect. Just, I don't see enough of it anymore. It used to be like you can go to a meet and someone would see your car, like, hey, I respect that. Like, that's cool. It's something different. I don't see that anymore. It's more or less like, oh, look at this, shit box. It's like, oh, he has this done to it. It's like a stock car. It's always some type of rhetoric that they have to follow where they have to look cool in front of their friends. and
Hmm.
they all dogpile on people's cars, for no reason. And sometimes it's even people that don't even own cars. It's just people that show up there with their buddies and don't even have a car, and they all of a sudden have an opinion. And it's like, well, do you have a car? No? Okay, then your opinion doesn't matter. So it's like, the overall respect part just needs to change for sure. Um, I think that a lot of the time is like, there needs to be more just chill mates instead of like, going out and then someone's just trying to do a rev match or a burnout or something like that. And then just ruins it for everyone because now the cops are called. Now the event is, canceled and no, it's not gonna happen anymore. And it's just, that's what happens is like you get the bad apples of the bunch that show up to these meets and they're like, I'm gonna show out for everyone because I think I'm cool. And so they start revving up their cars and shooting flames or whatever, or burning out, and then all of a sudden the owner of the venue or the business that's nearby, they're like, okay, I already called the cops, you guys need to leave. And then just ruins it for everyone. But
Everyone.
yeah, it sucks because it's like, living out here in like Brandon, Tampa area, it's so much harder to find a decent meat without going there. And there's always going to be the bad apples. It's like no matter where you go, there's always going to be those few people that are going to go against the rule. They're going to, do what they want because they don't care. And then they're going to get kicked out, but then they still show up to the next one and they do it the next one. And it's like, now you're just ruining it for everyone else. And now we have nowhere to go. So where are we supposed to go?
Hmm.
It's like now we don't have any spots because people are going to quick to judge our cars because I've been profiled already for my car just by driving down the highway. I've been like cops who
Hmm.
follow me. They would like get up on my ass. They try to antagonize me because I drive a Mustang that's loud, and they think I'm gonna be one of these like street kids that are out here trying to race and stuff. I'm like, I don't like. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm just driving on the highway. You know, I it was like when I was in Ybor, which oh my god, I'm never going back to Ybor. Um, it was a Saturday night on in Ybor. I was there for like a friend. He was a DJ, and he it was his first gig there at one of the places. And so I went there to support him and stuff. I left around like midnight. So mind you, it's kind of cold out, but my car is loud as shit. So I was parked in a parking garage, and of course there was a cop parked outside the parking garage. And I'm like, great, here we go. So I start up my car. It just, explodes inside the whole, parking garage. It's loud as shit. And I'm sitting there waiting and waiting, trying to let it warm up so it's not so loud. I'm like, come on. And so I go to pull out, and my friend's in front of me. And so he goes left. I accidentally go right into Ebor itself. I'm like, oh, fuck, I fucked up. And this cop followed me for 3, 4 blocks before he pulled me over. And then, he of course was like, "Oh, I'll giving you a ticket for your exhaust and this and that." I'm like, "Right," because there was like 6 other motorcycles that are sitting down the same strip here, revving all their shit, and you didn't give them any tickets because you weren't gonna chase them. But then you're gonna profile me because I have a Mustang that's a little loud when I'm idling down the road, and you're gonna give me a ticket. But okay, so it's just profiling because these kids out here are doing stupid
Hmm.
shit, and I'm getting tired of it. It's like I don't want to race you every time that you pull up on me when I'm driving down the road. If I'm not trying to race you, then don't try to race me. It's just like I'm just a normal car driving down the street. I don't care.
Respectfully. Um, to touch back on something you said though about having nowhere to go.
Mm,
When you do get the chance, I sent you something in your DM. But I'm working on a plan to give the car scene somewhere to go, right? Where we basically not give, where we have the authority to say who can come in and who can't come in.
mhm,
We will have it'll give us the platform to control the narrative of the car scene. So now you can't say, oh, well, all these cars are all bad. All these people who have loud cars are all bad. No, just because we enjoy a loud car does not mean I'm gonna take over kid, or I don't care about the meats, or I don't care about the people on the street. I just enjoy having a loud car. There's nothing wrong with having a loud car. So, but what I'm trying to build, what I'm working on, and eventually when my car get back on the road, I end up pitching it to investors, right?
Mhm.
But I'm gonna try to see if you can see it. So that's
Pretty
one of
cool.
them, right?
Yeah.
And that's the other spot for it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like that.
So the point in me trying to get investors for that is to, like you just said, give the people who truly care about the car scene a spot to go, a place to go, a spot to call home.
Mhm.
Um, if you just like example, right? Like we have like a track weekend, or
Mhm.
like we got a drive strip going, like a drive strip weekend, or we got a drill competition going on, and it lasts all weekend. I want to put either cabins out there or like just something you can stay in,
Mhm.
so like you don't got to leave. Let's just say you are part of a drag team and y'all racing the full weekend. You don't got to leave the premises to find somewhere to sleep at. Either I'm gonna have like a port. I'm gonna have a port for RVs.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna have actual cabins that way like you can just stay there the full weekend. Let's just say you want to just come out to the track and just take your car down the track and see how far you can push it.
Mhm.
You can do that, and then you guys, if you want to stay over and keep going next day, you got somewhere to stay, but you still have somewhere to. Just the car scene just have a spot to literally call home. So it'd be like a one stop shop. We we can host car meets. I'm gonna have a parking spot just for car meets with like major lighting.
Mhm.
You have the drag strip, you have the drift track, and then I'm doing a cabin, and then I want to add like a show style barn, right?
Mhm.
That we're like, if we can have a car meet, and then we can have our car shows. I'm working on that. Like I say, by the time I get my car back up and running, I should have the the full the full pitch ready to pitch to investors. And I want to say that could possibly start February.
Mhm.
I should be able to get that up and running February. If not February, then March. The way I'll start putting it into the just, just trying to get some investors to look at it or just think about it. That'll
Right.
start between February and March. And then I'm building it in Florida because we have the perfect weather. I mean, other than hurricane season,
Yeah.
which to be honest, we kind of been getting lucky. I wouldn't say
Mhm.
lucky, but like from what we used to get, we've been getting lucky. Like I think one year we got hit what 3 times back to back to back.
Yeah,
So we've been getting lucky with hurricanes. But other than that, we have the perfect weather. Like so why not? It'd be the perfect spot to start at. And then once it's successful, then branch out to other spots and then just keep building that in different states for the car scene.
for sure.
But like I said, it'll give us the chance to make sure like if there is a bad seed that does come in, we can easily kick them,
Mhm.
easily gone. You're not finna come and ruin anything we have going on within this. I don't want to call it a resort, but at the same time, it is like an automotive resort in a
It's
sense.
kinda like a
So you're
club.
not, you, yeah. So you're not finna come and try to ruin anything that we built for the car scene or for the car community. Like we put our, and I tell everybody, if you have any ideas, if you have a thought that you come across about it, let me know, and I could try to figure out a way to add it into it.
Mhm.
Like I say, I wanted it to be for the community, so I want to give y'all the chance to give me like an idea to put into it. So if you ever do have anything, just let me know, and I'll try to add it in.
Yeah, like, actually, I already had one that popped up in my head. But, like, it'd be cool though to have, like, maybe, like, a little garage to have some lifts in it, so if someone had an issue or something like that, they can put up on a lift right quick, change out some tires. Because if they wanna put drag slicks on and they don't wanna drive on drag slicks all the way there, then, they can switch
Mhm.
their, tires there. They can, if something happened to their car or something came loose, they can work on it there. Just things like that, have, like, a borrow system. It's kinda like, in a way, like, trust, not take tools and things like that, respect the tools and the equipment. But, something like that would help too.
That would definitely be dope. I actually thought about that once, but I didn't know how to actually put it in words. I had something written down along the lines of that. Like I said, I just didn't know how to actually put it into words. Um, I call it bays. Like you have like a washing bay, then like you just said, the spot for like the lifts, and then it was one more. Then also, I was thinking about building like a garage where if you need to park a car for storage, you have the chance to put the car in storage and just let it sit. And then um, it's taken care of. People check on it. They check on it. They check on it daily to make sure like everything cool with it. So I do want to add. I am going to add that too to it. I'm definitely going to add that also because now it's feel like a one stop shop. You can come and do everything, and
Right.
then eventually I want to start working with car groups, car shops. It would be nice to have like a full detail spot on hand at all times. It'd be nice to have a shop on hand at all times. And then if you in a car scene with a business, it would be nice to try to integrate that the business also into that.
Mhm.
So I am thinking of ways to basically help the car scene flourish through that spot as well. Like I said, I spend most of my day just literally going through the numbers, going through the ideas, trying to make it not perfect, but make it good enough. That way, I know for a fact once it's here, it's up and running, and we truly good to go. Now, another question I want to ask you, and I feel like this is a huge question for the car scene, right? So you know how we got respect all bills, and then you have the other side saying don't respect all bills.
Mhm.
I just want to ask you because you've been in the car scene for 12 years. Do you feel like the car scene has opened up a new lane for itself when it comes to the built versus bills topic?
Like almost like built not bought in a way.
So you know how you got built with a T?
Right.
Like it goes from like it's more than just cosmetics, it's engine work, it's transmission work, it's all that.
Yeah.
And then you have just bills where it's just cosmetic.
Mhm.
So the question, let me better word it. Do you think the car scene has opened up a lane where people are coming in just for the bill side of it?
I mean, I think so. I mean, it's been like that for a very long time. Uh, Most of the time, people like to keep their engines and everything stock, for resale value, which is totally respectful, even like for warranty wise too. I've seen people that they got cars that are brand new, they have warranties on them, they don't want to mess with them, engine wise, because then if they do, it voids the warranty. But they still like appearance packages, they like body kits, so they do that to the car because that's not gonna void any or like void any warranty there. So you know, I see a lot of people they're out here with body kits and things like that, and stock engines, and that's fine. That's still respectful. I mean, it's an image you're still going for. And like I said a while ago, it's like a canvas, and you're the artist. You can paint it wherever you want it to be. If you want to put a body kit on it, put a body kit on it. If you want to put, I don't care, AutoZone chrome pieces on a car, go ahead and put that on there. Just whatever you feel like would look good to you. It doesn't matter what other people think. As long as it feels like that's what you want and that's what you want your car to look like, that's all that cares. That matters. That's all you should really care
Mhm.
about. It's like that's your image. And if you're like, "Hey, I like that car that has all the chrome pieces on it because that's what I imagine my car to be." And that's cool. It's like at that point, you don't really have to care what other people say. As long as you're happy at the end of the day driving what you drive, then that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. I asked because now I'm gonna say this real quick. It's kind of not our topic. I feel like the respect our bills and don't respect our bills is good for the car scene. One, I'm always respect the build,
Mm,
even if I don't like some things on it. I won't say it publicly. I would probably just be like, "You ever thought about doing this, or you ever thought about doing that?" But I do that in a way to see why they chose to do what they did. That way I can understand why they went that route. You know what I mean? Then just being honest. I also understand the don't respect all bills because I don't want to see. It is some I can't really name. I mean, I can name if I see some stuff, but
mhm.
it is some stuff in the car scene we all question.
Like cambered out wheels.
And truly, bro, like a- at first I could not. At first, I did not understand camber at all. Like I was just like, what's the point in camber? But then the more I seen it, the more I was just like, well, aesthetic wise, I can see. Purpose wise, I don't see it.
Yeah.
So I, when it comes to don't respect our bills, I feel like it comes from the point of if we choose to go the route of respect our bills, now we kind of lowering the criteria for what a clean bill could be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I feel that.
So now it's like we're letting anything in a car seat.
Mhm.
So now you just have just people just doing stuff to the car. And then, oh, you're like, this is my bill. Like, what you think about it? And it's just like, it's your bill. You put your own creativity to it. But it creates like and just being honest, we all, everybody set they standard to a certain point when it comes to car scenes, right? So I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say you have what's a car that just that just don't fit in the car scene. Let's see.
Um, let's say like a Honda Beat.
Okay, perfect. So let's say somebody bring a Honda Beat, right?
Mhm.
And it's not really anything done to it. They just put some rims on it and a wrap, right? And then they like a or it could be a stock Honda Beat, but they just put their own little twist to it and then they bring it to a car show.
Mhm.
Now it's just like, okay, I'm trying to find the right way to word it without okay, so I'm put this way, right? Let's say you have a stock car, right? Stock car, heat locks, downforce, parachute. You probably won't ever see that, just an example. So we let that come to a car meet, right? And he like, oh well, yeah, my build is the bead locks, the the parachute, but we like, okay, like, but why?
Mhm.
It's nothing done to the engine to require bead locks or to require a parachute. Like if you just like bead locks, you know, put it put on something where it's useful at, or you go actually use it at. So I guess this is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to find the right words, bro, and it's just not coming to me. So I'm gonna just keep it. I feel like that balance between respect our bills and not respecting our bills is needed
Mhm.
because now we keep the car scene at a certain we hold it to a certain standard now. And if we just add anything to the car scene, then at some point it's just gonna be oversaturated with just anything. And now we go into car meets and it's just anything out there.
Mhm.
It's not built, it's not clean. They just we allow anything to come into this car scene now because we respect our bills. I feel like we gotta respect the person, not
Mhm.
respect the person behind the bill, but you can still question some bills. I just feel like that balance is needed because now we can still hold a car scene to a good level where we have clean bills
Mhm.
that deserve to be like in like actual like car beats and car shows rather than just having anything like a Honda Fit with a fat wing on it, or
Yeah.
or like a Corolla with a fat wing on it.
Mhm.
Canards, it's lowered with a wrap. It's just like, uh,
Yeah. It
so.
it's kinda like the point of, like, logic and practicality, it's
Mhm,
like you were saying, like, if you're gonna have a car that has a drag shoe, some downforce parts, bead locks, make sure that it's actually, like, practical to what your build is. Like, you don't need to add all this extra shit because that's what, so and so has, but that's because so and so has a 1,000 horsepower engine, that he drag races every day.
mhm,
But if you don't, then you don't need to do that. You're just adding more weight to your car at that point.
and for no reason. So that's why I say like it's not really no. It's just it's holding the car scene to the standard the car scene should be held to
Mhm.
by agreeing with both sides of the table. Because now you and just be honest, me and you can go to a car meet and we might see something. people like, yeah, like if that's the route the car scene is going, we might not have one soon.
Yeah.
But it's still respect the person for having the courage to still come out, to still want to be a part of the car scene. And everybody starts somewhere. And maybe his starting point wasn't his best starting point or wasn't her best starting point. Um, you know, first car could be tricky. You just doing anything to it, or and then some people taste develop more as they see more in the car scene. Maybe they had a rocky start, and now they gotta understand. They got a better understanding from like what the criteria for a clean bill is now, and they're going to make that. So
Mhm. For sure.
I feel like that is something basically we should do, respect them, and then still hold a car scene to a certain standard to be like, okay, well, bro, like I'm gonna have to call you out on certain things about your car. Going into that, I want to get until you've been in a group with Thomas and Gina, right? So tell us how that came about.
So that's actually a interesting story in a way. But first I actually met Thomas. It was back when one of my friends on Instagram, he uh he pretty much DM'd me. He's like, "Hey," he's like, I like your car." He's like, "We're thinking about doing like some photo shoots for like this Mustang magazine. Do you want to come out?" I'm like, "Sure, that'd be cool." So, I went out there and it was like a couple of us, like probably 4 or 5 of us out there. And then, like, of course, the owner of the Mustang magazine was out there in his, like, brand new Mustang, and, that's when I first met Thomas, and, we kinda just, shoot the shit for a bit. We took pictures of the cars, I took a couple pictures of his, and then, kinda after that, we just all, like, split, but we stayed, like, friends on Instagram, and then I joined another Mustang group probably, I wanna say, like, 4 years ago. And funny enough, I look up and there he is. I'm like, "Oh shit, it's been a while, man." And he's like, "Yeah, it has." And then, that's when he was with Jenna, and I was like, "Okay." And so I met her, and from there we just became friends. We shortly after we left that group because they were starting to be like just totally disrespectful to everyone. That group, I'm surprised it's even still going. But, they're just doing mad disrespectful shit, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm out," like, when we're just sitting here, like, talking about people instead of cars, I'm like, "I'm done." So, I left that. I'm like, "That's just not the toxicity that I wanna deal with." So, I left that, they all left that, and then we kinda started our own group from there, and then ever since then, it's just been, you know, us 3 and a few other people, and then we all just show up to, our own little meets, or we'll go meet up at, like, a place for dinner. We'll all hang out there, just kinda chill, and nothing crazy. We have a decent turnout. We have at least, like, 6 cars or so that pull up, and we all just chill and talk about, what's been going on in life, cars, and go have fun.
So I would say, I love what y'all group is doing for the car scene also. Um, and the one thing I want to keep doing is basically just, giving that respect to the people who's already been doing it behind the scenes. And one day I hope, this podcast grows to a point where basically the hard work that people put into these car groups can get recognized, for everything they've done for the community. People can see it because one thing I will say about y'all group that I love is the way that y'all want to bond and bring people together because that's one thing the car scene needs more of.
Mhm.
And being that y'all doing that and y'all doing a really great job at it, I just wish more people could see that. So that's another thing with this podcast I want to do. I want to make it more than just a podcast though, because most podcasts I've seen it's just a podcast. I don't want this to be just a podcast. I want that to start it, like that to be the starting point of something way bigger. So I want to actually brand this into an actual community that just has a podcast attached to it. So, like I was talking to Tom to Jenna, I want to work out something with y'all. That way we can, work together going forward, host meets together. I can sponsor them. We can sit and have a talk like this at a car meet, which I feel like would be dope, and still be able to enjoy the car meet as well. I just want to just give, like I said before, we have to start giving people who host these meets the respect that they deserve because so much goes behind closed doors, but that people just don't understand.
Mhm.
Respect the spot, respect the host, respect everything that they're doing for the scene because if they wasn't doing it, we wouldn't have these meets to go to at night or we wouldn't have these meets to go to, period, if, the people that's making it happen don't make it happen. Just going forward, I just want to truly like bring light to everything that people doing, or at least try to. My goal is to try to bring light to everything that the community is doing for itself. And for the people who don't get the credit that they deserve, I want to try to find a way to bring that credit to them and to give them what they deserve within the car scene because they deserve it. Um, I know people said that they love what I'm doing, but to be honest, if I didn't see y'all doing what y'all doing, I wouldn't be doing this right now. So
Mhm.
just just looking back on it, I'm I get inspired from seeing y'all legit build something meaningful. That's why I want to turn this podcast into a community that's meaningful because I see everything the car community doing for itself and it's trying to get back to what it used to be.
Mhm.
I want to just be the person to help just put our foot in the door to create something way bigger for all of us. Again, I know it's off topic, but I just want to just give my respect to y'all for what y'all doing for the car scene and just say thank y'all if nobody hasn't because it's really nice to see people generally care about the car scene the way that y'all do and the
Mhm.
way that y'all push it going forward. So just going forward, I say I want to start meeting up with people in real life. I want to get this podcast a lifestyle feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's also something that I'm working on also. And I can tell you about it because you gave me an idea, but I'm not gonna say it right now. I'll text you about it.
Okay.
Um, because when you said it, I'm just like, yo, that would be crazy if I can make that happen. So now I can make it happen. But like I said, I'll keep it on the hush for now, but I'll text you about it. Um, but yeah, that I just feel like that'd be dope too going forward. But I just love to see it, bro, honestly. And I try to let people know what they're doing matters. Like your story matters, your voice matter, your opinion matter. I want them to honestly know that. I want you to know that. Just because the car scene, you can say it's kind of dying with how it's going right now. But I feel like if we can change that narrative, I feel like it'll get back to what it used to be.
Mhm.
So that's my goal going forward, is just to bring the car scene back to what it used to be. And I know we can do it if we all work together. If we start somewhere and then just build onto it, I feel like we can really get it back to what it used to be.
Oh, yeah, for sure. As, you know, I think if anything, it's like, yeah, it kinda already died, but in a way it needs a revival. It just needs to be revived into what it was. It took me a second.
No, there you go. It's back recording now. So now I gotta, oh yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, bro, you need to set up. Um,
Yeah.
where did we leave off at, bro?
Sorry, what?
Where did we leave off at? Trying to
Um,
remember where we
we were
left off.
I think we were talking about the big collab that you're gonna do tomorrow.
Oh yeah, yeah. So far, I want to say I know Ty coming. I know Ty be there. I know Nico will be there. The good thing I feel like about Nico also is he owns a group called Elite out in the Broward, Miami area.
Mm,
So he still is in Florida. Um, then I know Thomas and Gina said they should be able to make it. And then I just did a podcast with another couple, Silver and Andrew, said they should be able to make it. I know Dustin said he should be able to make it. And I think Barb said she should be able to make it too. So it will be a lot of us, but I feel like that'll make it interesting because then we can discuss the car community amongst all of us. So now we got different opinions from different mindsets and we can like really get a feel for how everybody feel about the car culture going forward. So I feel like if you're interested, I'm doing it Saturday night at 7:30. Oh, and also there's a dude named Spades who also will be coming back for that as well. And Spades on the shop. and he's trying to build up. He's trying to actually build his own community also. It's called Wild Card Motorsports. He's trying to build up too, and basically the same. The thing I love about this podcast so far is almost everybody who came onto the podcast, we all share that same passion to get the car scene back to what it used to be. So that's why I say I feel like if we was to do a collab between all of us, I feel like that would be major because now we got between all of our platforms, there's so many eyes on it, right? And then now you got people seeing what the car scene really is capable of, what the car scene really is. I am go jot that down also in my to-do list. And if I can make it possible to where we can all collab on one event, I feel like that would be major.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what that's no lie to you. When I first started this podcast, I was a little worried.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I understand people don't like to be in front of a camera. I understand people could get camera shy. Or some people don't want don't want their story out there.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie to you, the way that the community has came out and showed up, bro, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. I have one more podcast today around 7:30 tonight, and then we doing the big collab tomorrow, and then I just got one scheduled for Sunday. So, like I say, bro, the community has showed up in ways that and I'll be honest, at one point I was not prepared for. Like, I had so much videos and so much shorts backed up, bro. I had to post twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, just to get people's story out there. It got so backed up. But now I got better at that. And I'm also just throwing it out there. I'm also building a team. And I have my first partner, I want to say. His name is Shane. And he stays in the Orlando area. Are you going to Fuel Fest?
Yes, I am. I'll be there.
So me and Shane also coming to Fuel Fest.
How about the meetup?
So definitely, like that's what they just thought about. So it'll be dope. Like I said, I'm trying to start a team, and you know what? If anybody see this and they interested, I want to start like a media cover of the car scene. All right. So I know that'd be hard, but if we could capture the car scene in Florida, and then eventually we have people capture the car scene in Utah and Arizona, just different states, and like we can figure out a way to broadcast it and talk about it, I feel like we can like have like a media outlet of the car scene. That way, like every city and state car scene is now being is don't want to say exposed because I'm not exposing nothing. I'm more so of basically showing what the car scene really is throughout different cities and states. 'Cause I know every car scene is different. You know,
Yeah.
Florida, we got our own car scene in Florida, so it'd be nice. What I can say is, if we can create a media setup that captures each city's car meet and car scene, and then we bring that to a podcast where we have different guests for each one. I feel like that would also be good for the car scene too, because now we get to see the car scene in every city and state, and we can like broadcast that live, or we can just talk about it over a podcast. I feel like that also get the community together more also. So that's also something I'm working on. So it's a lot. I'm gonna see, bro, it's a lot that I'm trying to do. But I know for a fact I can't do it alone. So that's why I'm trying to look for a team now to start building what I'm trying to. Because bro, my desk is horrible. I mean, it's organized, but
Mhm.
then it's not so organized. I have
Right.
notes. Like I have a to do list. I have like the investment part. Then I have like some other stuff. So my desk kind of cluttered at the moment, but still yet organized. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So it's just a lot I'm trying to work on to give the car scene that reputation that it should have. So, like I said, I'm gonna share all my tips with you. That way, like, you give me your opinion, and you can and be honest. Okay, like you can keep it a buck with me. I don't mind that. But let's see. Is there anything I missed that you would like to bring up?
Hmm. I mean, not that I could really think off the top of my head. Um, I mean, besides, everything else, I think you hit pretty much every point. I mean, I would be interested in joining the team though, for sure. So you can always keep me up to date on that. We could
Well,
always.
then, sorry to cut you off. After this, after this, we most definitely talk about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Most definitely. No, my fault, but my brain running. I know. This only if you're interested. I'm doing a 25 piece of these. As you see, it's numbered down there. I have to make number 3 in a little bit, but I am make. I did my first, you would say, merch drop. It's limited to 25. If you is interested, the link is in the it's in the Instagram bio. It's I'm doing a test run to see how the community feels about having merch on the podcast. I know at one point I'm gonna need it, but just in the meantime, um, I cover shipping because I'm not. It's not a money grab. To be honest, I'm not making much money off of this. I'm only doing it the way people can feel like they are part of the podcast and a part of the car culture
Yeah, for sure.
that I'm trying to build through this podcast. So that's why I'm making it limited. I have other ideas. I think you'll like some of them because I have like 4 Mustang ones that I'm holding out on. But um, this, if you is interested, the link is in the bio for that. I do have 2 more questions for you, and then we can get to the other thing personally. What's next for you going forward within the car scene, and what do you want through your social medias going forward?
um, well, for me going forward in the car scene itself, I would have to say, probably attend more meets. Ones that are probably a little bit more like, well put together, if I can say it really like that, because it seems like a lot of the meets that you're not going to run into trouble, you're not going to deal with a lot of, the bad behavior, the bad apples, and things like that are the ones that you actually have to pay for. Because it's like if you go to any of these like freebie meets where, someone just posts up on Instagram like, "Hey, I'm gonna be having a meet over at Steak and Shake," or "I'm gonna have a meet over at this gas station." When you go over there, it's all the nonsense it goes with it. But when you actually say, "Hey, I got paid $15," or "Hey, I got paid like $25," or something like that to be in this show, then you know that the people that have the money are the people that are actually going to sit there and respect your stuff because they want the same respect. So it's kind of like,
Sure.
it's a little bit better than having to deal with, all the nonsense. But that's for sure with that. For me, going more to like the paid meets, just kind of get myself out there a little bit more. I've been really on a hiatus as of like posting on social media, because I either don't have enough time to because I'm working, or just overall, like, any of the spots that I've taken pictures at, it's like those are really the only spots around, my area that you can take pictures at, and so it gets kinda, like, repetitive. Besides that, I don't really have many people to really, like, take pictures with. Like, yeah, I could take pictures with Tom and Jenna, but they're also working too. So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's one part. It's just kinda like, trying to coordinate time and, you know, meet up for once and take pictures, things like that, or just trying to, remind myself to take pictures whenever we meet up somewhere. And on social media wise, what I would like to see on there is just like overall, just like good builds. Just people giving utmost respect and, not really sitting there trying to shit talk each other in the comment section. Like you know, if someone posts something with their car, they're trying to be like funny or something like that. There's no reason for anyone to go on there and say, "Oh, your car's lame. It's ugly. It's slow. And this." And it's like no one asked. It's like, why did you even have to say anything? So it's like I just would like to see people not really run their mouth. It's just like if you're gonna say something, at least have something to back it up with. Like, if you're gonna, like, talk a big game, then line it up. Like, where's the line? Just line it up. Because if you're gonna sit there and
Hmm.
say, "Oh, my car's faster," okay, then where you at? let's meet up. Let's, link up somewhere and we'll race it, you know? But, like, it's just overall, it's because they hide behind the keyboard, they hide behind the screens, so they talk a big game. It's the chihuahua effect, I call it. They all talk the big game, but they don't show out, you know? But
Facts,
that's all
bro.
they are. They yap and yap and yap, and that's just all that happens, and they never show up, they never show out. So it's just like if you have time to talk nonsense, then probably do it somewhere else. Don't come to someone that's willing to actually meet up with you and race you, you know? So it's like at least have something to back it up.
Agreed. And no, you basically hit every nail point with that one. So to that, I have nothing to say, but I agree. I definitely agree. Um, but the last question of the day is, if you could put a message on the billboard for the car scene, what would it be?
Um, man, I probably said this like like 4 or 5 times already, but your car is your canvas. Paint it the way that you want it to be.
Most definitely. I mean, it's the best way to express yourself. Also,
Hmm.
most definitely. Um, okay. I want to say another great productive podcast, another great productive episode. The full video will be up by tomorrow morning on YouTube. Um, I have to get caught up with. No, I think I'm caught up. So I should be able to start posting shorts too, also by tomorrow. Also, and in the meantime, we can get to talking about teaming up. Let us get to that. And but before we even get to that, thank you for coming on to the podcast. Again, thank you for your story, for your opinion. Thank you for being here, and just thank you for being a part of the community. It really means a lot going forward because I say the community is growing. It most definitely is growing, and I love the direction that it's going. So now that we have the momentum, I'm trying to ride the momentum, but also I'm trying to give the car community another outlet. That way, we can really build this community to something that I'm trying to build it into. So it's definitely going in a good direction. It's growing fast. It's growing really fast. So I'm gonna DM you about working together. And other than that, boss man, I'm gonna let you enjoy your day.
All right, thank you guys. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, boss man.
Hmm,
You have a great day, bro.
You too.
So to everybody, again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching. And thank you for being a part of the podcast. And just remember, it's your car, your story. But this is our community. Thank you and have a great day.